Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Opayemi Goddess, and if you're new here, thank you for joining this channel. For my G's, guys, you know yourselves. Yeah, my G's, my subscribers, thank you for sticking to this channel. Receive your hugs and your kiss. So thank you so much guys. Our video will be all about the first date, the do's and don'ts of a first date. Yes, so it's going to be very, very interesting and mind-blowing. So guys, get a seat and popcorn and a bottle of Coke. Yes, oh, a glass of wine, because it's going to be very interesting. So the first don'ts, yeah, let's start with don'ts and then we move to the do's. Yeah, let's start with the bad news and then we'll move to the good news. So for a first date, I can understand that it can be scary, it can be tricky, you don't know what to expect, you don't even know if you end up liking the person, you don't know if you'll be disappointed, and then you just want to create a very good impression. So you're scared if you would misbehave or you would mess up the date. You don't have to be scared. I'm going to simplify everything you need to do on your first date with a guy or a lady you've never met in person, like you've not seen physically. So the first don't for a first date, oh, that sounds like a rhyme. The first don't for a first date is don't be late. So guys, if you're going for a date for the very first time, you've never met this person, and of course you want to create a good impression. So the first impression you need to create is that you are a good manager of time. Yeah, so ensure you don't get there late. You also don't want to get there early, like you don't want to get there so early and then you're waiting or sitting around doing nothing. No, if the date will be, for instance, by 8 p.m, ensure you get there by 8 p.m, 8:01, 8:02, 8:03, 8:04, 8:05. You shouldn't exit 8:05. Seriously, 5 minutes lateness should be allowed for a first date, but anything beyond that is just being irresponsible, really. So ensure you don't get there late, and if you'll be going there late for any reason, any genuine reason anyways, not that because you want to feel wanted, you want to feel chased, no, if you'll be getting there late because of a genuine reason, I think it's best you put the call through to your date and inform him or her that, oh, you'll be running late for a particular reason. Probably you're stuck in traffic, probably something just came up that you really need to attend to, whatever reason it is. So far it's genuine. Just even if it's not genuine, please ensure you communicate with your date that you'll be running late, and then when you get to the venue, ensure you apologize first for coming late, but just ensure that you do not get there late. Seriously, you don't want to keep somebody waiting unnecessarily, so don't get there late. That's the first don't. Second don't, I don't even have to tell you this because I meant to dress to kill, right? You want to create an impression. So the second don't is don't dress shabbily. No, this is the first date. You want to create a good impression. You want to dress to kill. You want to murder somebody's daughter or son with your dressing or with the way you look. Yes, so ensure that you look so elegant. If you're a guy, dress well. Ensure your outfit is well ironed, your haircut is nice, gosh, well trained, like you're looking so good, you know, you're looking irresistible, you know, that kind of looks now. And then if you're a woman, dress properly. Whatever outfit you be wearing, ensure it's well ironed, ensure you don't look unkempt, your hair should be on point, your makeup on point. Even if you don't wear makeup, even if you're like the simple type, just make sure that you look so elegant and clean and tidy and gorgeous. Yes, so just ensure you look so good. Like, you know how the first impression like is usually like the best impression for a first date. Imagine walking into that venue and then you're like pa, 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 pa. No. So guys, just ensure you're looking so good, you're looking on point. So the third don't is don't chew gum. You don't want to be talking with your date and then you're like, no, that can be very, very disgusting. So please, your first date is not the date to chew gum. Like, even if you like chewing gum, like I do like, but you shouldn't be chewing gum on your first date. Please, don't chew gum. Don't chew gum. And don't chew gum. So, the next don't is don't laugh too hard. That sounds funny, right? Like you're meant to laugh, especially if your date has a good sense of humor. So I kind of understand. You're meant to laugh. If he or she is making you laugh, you should laugh, really. Yes, you should laugh, but you shouldn't laugh to the extent that you're not like slapping him or her, you're eating him or her, like ha 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 ha. Like you're laughing so much that you're losing your decorum. No, you shouldn't like be too comfortable to the extent that you're losing your decorum and then you're eating or slapping your dates because he or she's sounding so funny or has a good sense of humor. No, smile elegantly, smile confidently, but don't laugh too hard. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. You should smile, you should laugh, but don't laugh too hard. I'm sure you guys understand my point. This is not the time to start passing gas. Yeah, I know sometimes you really can't help it, but just try and help it this time around. This is not the time to start farting. Like, no, it's not appropriate for a first date. When you get more comfortable with each other, especially if you eventually end up being in a relationship with each other, you can now start farting, start passing gas as you wish. That's up to you. But for a first date, please, please, please just try to hold that gas. Please. No. Don't. Don't. The next don't for a first date is don't spill rubbish. Especially for all these talkatives. Like you get if this is the first time of meeting this person and then you're there talking and chisting and then you start talking about how you've dated like 100 girls or you dated like 100 guys. Like, no, that is not the time to start spilling your past. I can understand that there are times that you go for a very first date and your date is very engaging, very funny, very, very friendly and cheerful, and you just lose your guts and then you start talking and spilling everything. I understand, but you shouldn't. There's some things you shouldn't spill. In short, don't spill rubbish. You know those things are not meant to spill at that point in time. When you get comfortable with each other, if because you may eventually not like the person, you may not even go out with the person eventually, you may not have a relationship with the person eventually. That might be the first and last date with that person. So ensure you don't spill rubbish on that first date. Please, I'm begging you, especially ladies, like please keep all those dirty linens to yourself. That is not the time to start saying so in 2002 that I dated one guy, blah blah blah. No, that is not the time to start saying all that. Just enjoy yourself, have fun on that day, and then when you get to know each other, you guys can share your past with each other if you wish, anyways. But that first date is definitely not the time for that. The next don't. This next don't. Some people, they are victims of this. So if you're going for your first date, don't order for too much food. I know you're a foodie, like I know you love food, but please don't create a bad impression. Just this is time for you to pretend like in fact on a normal day you don't eat more than 2 spoons of rice. I'm just kidding. You can always eat on your first date, but don't eat too much. Don't eat too much. Just eat something very small, drink something very small. This is not the time to start. Okay, so the waiter or the waitress brings the menu and then start pointing to Bogolian rice, Rwandan chicken, Nigerian sausage, the British meat, the American beef. that is not the time to start ordering for everything on the menu. As a matter of fact, when I was still single, if I would go for a date, I would preferably pick something I've eaten before. I don't want to pick something I've never eaten before and then I will end up not liking it and then wasting the person's money. Do you understand? So if you're going for, this is the first day, for God's sake, if you end up liking the person, if eventually you get to be in a relationship, you still go for many dates. That's the truth. So just chill, auntie, chill, uncle, just chill. Subsequently, when you go for other dates, you can eat whatever you want to eat, even order for something you've never eaten before, because at that time you're more comfortable with each other, you already like each other at that point. But for your first date, order for the food you've eaten before that you really understand. That is not the time for you to be ordering for Singaporean spaghetti. I'm just joking, guys, I'm just joking. Order for something that you're comfortable with, or something you've eaten in the past. And even if it's a new menu or a new meal, just ensure it's something not so much. Do you get something so little? Yeah. The other don't I want to talk about. This one is for my prayer warriors, my fellow prayer warriors, and my fasting warriors. Guys, ladies, if you know that you'll be going for a date and you've been fasting since morning, break your fast before going for the date. You don't want to go for that date with your mouth smelling. No. Say no to halitosis. So imagine you going for a date and then the guy is seated or the lady is seated and then you're walking up to the person and then you're like, hey Henry, or hey whatever, and then you want like extend your hand and give him a handshake or a side hug, whatever. And you're like, hey Henry, and Henry is like, hey. No, you don't want to send him away with that mouth odor. No, you don't want to. So please, if you'll be going for a date and you've not had anything to eat all day, you may not even be fasting. Maybe the date is probably later in the day after work and you've really not had time to eat at work. Please, before you go for that date, take a sip of water, or even sips of water, or just take a glass of water. You could get a mint sweets. Even when I'm fasting, I take mint sweets because I don't want to be going around with smelly mouth and then everybody knows they're fasting, really. So please, whatever it is, just ensure you probably lick a sweet. Minty sweets kills mouth odor, really, especially when you're fasting or you not had anything to eat all day. So please, you don't want to go there with smelly mouth. Please don't. So guys, I think we're done with the don'ts. Yes. So we're done with the bad news. Now we'll be moving to do's of first date. Well, do's are meant to be opposite of don'ts, right? So if I'm saying don't do this, then it means do this, right? Yeah. Yes. But yeah, let's just talk about the do's. So the first do, does it sound right? The first do. Whatever, the first thing you should do if you're going for a date is, like I said earlier, that you shouldn't dress shabbily. So you should dress well. I mentioned that earlier. And you should walk confidently. Like walk into that venue with your shoulders high. Yeah, and then just ensure that you're walking. This is especially for my ladies. Please walk confidently. Walk like one Miss World. Like, yes. Secondly, you should smell nice. Yeah, I talked about mouth odor earlier. Body odor too is a big deal. Spray some perfume, use some cologne, use antiperspirant. Oh God, please, that is very key. Ensure you use antiperspirant. You don't want to get to the venue of your date having marks on your clothes. No. So you know those sweat marks? No, you don't want that to happen. So please use antiperspirant, use a perfume, whatever it is, just ensure you smell nice. You don't want to be smelling of garlic and ginger and herbs. No. And fish. No. So please smell nice. Ensure that you're smelling nice. Your body is smelling nice. Your mouth is smelling nice. In fact, ensure your hair too is smelling nice. Spray some whatever on your hair. Just ensure that all together you're looking good. How you know that song? All together lovely, all together worthy, all together wonderful to me. So in your case, ensure you're looking all together lovely, all together sumptuous, and all together elegant. So you create a good impression for your date. So the next do is, I don't know, it sounds somehow. The next do. Okay, whatever. The next do is ensure you talk intelligently. See, the worst thing that would happen to you on the first date is not being able to engage in a conversation with your date. So your date is talking about, especially for women and for guys too, really, but your date is talking about politics, it's talking about intelligent things, but you cannot contribute because the only thing you do is to watch Z World. This is not like throwing shades on people who watch Z World. I'm just trying to create fun, but I just feel that you should be able to engage intelligently with your dates. If a guy or a female, or if a guy or a lady, yeah, just ensure that you contribute meaningfully. So it's not like the guy is talking about finance, he's talking about politics, and then you are talking about makeup. Ensure that your conversation with each other synchronizes. Is that the right word? Hey God, English. There's like a rhythm. You're flowing. Yeah. I'm sure you're flowing. There's a rhythm. You guys are talking on the same page. So when he's saying A, you're not saying F. Or when you are saying F, he's not saying G. You're like on the same page. There's rhythm in the way you're talking. And you're just like talking on the same page. So talk intelligently. You should be able to strike a conversation. I've met so many people that can't even strike a conversation, and when they eventually strike the conversation, they can't even sustain a conversation. So it's a different thing to be able to strike or start a conversation. You should also be able to maintain a conversation. There should be a flow. So you're not stuck. You know when you're talking with someone and you get to a point where you are just like silent, you just go silent, like there's nothing else to talk about. No, that shouldn't happen. Just ensure that you're able to like sustain a conversation. And then also another thing you could do, I've done it before, like you're going for a first date, just have few questions ready so that you won't be stuck in a conversation and the both of you will just go silent, or you're like looking at each other, or then you now bring out your phone and then you start typing, or you start looking for imaginary things on Instagram. You know you're not on Instagram, but start pretending like you're chatting with someone. They start laughing. I've done that before. Like, because there was nothing to talk about, and then I'm pretending like then it was BlackBerry. Yeah, I think I was using a BlackBerry. And they start pretending like you're actually chatting with somebody, or maybe and like, but you're not chatting with anybody. You just don't know what to talk about, or you're just shy. No, strike a conversation. That's time to ask your dates questions about themselves, and just get along with each other anyways. So the next two is, this is especially for my ladies, go with some cash. You don't want to get there and then maybe the date didn't go as it didn't go well as you planned. It happens. A date must not have to like go well. So it could actually turn sour. Yeah, your date can actually turn sour. Like you're starting the date on a very high note. You're like gisting, enjoying each other's company, and all of a sudden something just. In fact, this happens especially when money is involved, and that is if you're going on a date with one irresponsible guy, he might decide not to pay. You get, so as a lady, always have your cash. Go with your cash. Go with your card, or go with some cash. That is why when you're ordering for food, you're ordering for what you can afford. That's not the time to start ordering for everything on the menu. So you're ordering for what you can afford. So that way, if the guy says, "Oh, I forgot my card at home," "Oh, I had money in my wallet," "Uncle, don't worry, I'll pay for my own." I'll pay for my own. I'll pay for what I've eaten. You sort out yourself with them, with the place. I don't know. You get. So the point is, just have some cash. This is for women. Always have some cash in your purse. Never go on a date empty-handed. Please, always have some cash. Now, the last two is at the end of the date, say thank you to your date. So if you're a lady, so say thank you to the guy, and if you're a guy, say thank you to the lady for sparing their time. Time is a resource and it shouldn't be taken for granted. So if I have decided to spend an hour with you, you should appreciate that time. So just say thank you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate your time. Just ensure you say thank you. If you can also see off your date, see your date off, whatever. Yes, if you can. And lastly, when you get home, this is just like courtesy. When you get home, send him or her a text saying thank you as well. I know you said thank you at the end of the date, but when you get home, just send a text saying thank you. It was nice hanging out with you, even if you don't like him or her. But that could even be the last time you communicate with him or her. But just ensure you send a text saying, oh, thank you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate your time. And then you don't have to lie. That's not time to now start saying, oh, you were so wonderful, blah blah. If you don't like the guy or you don't like the lady, you're not obliged to liking them, like liking him or liking her. So if you don't like her, if you don't like him, that's fantastic. But just like show an appreciation of their time, you know. Just be courteous, really. Just be courteous. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe. You're meant to subscribe. We have refused to subscribe. The Holy Spirit will touch your heart and you will subscribe today. So guys, subscribe to my channel, like my videos. Like my videos. Why are you so mean to me? Like my videos, subscribe to my channel, share my videos to your friends. Encourage your friends to follow me, to subscribe to my channel, share my videos. And then guys, I want you guys to give me suggestions, like content suggestions. So if there's a particular thing you want me to talk about, if there's something you really want to know about me, just put everything in the description. I'll be reading your comments. I'll be reading everything. So in the comment section, just drop your suggestions. If you want me to make a particular video, if you have a choice, please let me know. I will definitely make that video. If that's what you want, I will. So drop your suggestions in the comment section. Like my videos, subscribe, and I'll see you another time.